Hey Organistas! Welcome to the channel Forever Orchids. My name is Tracy. Today I want to show you a quick little video that I did at one of the places that I volunteer at. I was asked to mount a couple of their orchids. One of them was a little small bulbophyllum rothschildianum with the cultivar name Adorable. Now this plant has an FCC by the American Orchid Society, and that's the first one that I mounted. And then the second one is a little oncidium that they didn't have an ID on. So let's jump into the video and I hope you enjoy. Here's a quick look at some of my supplies. I've got some sphagnum moss that I'm going to use. Here's the orchid. This is the mount that we're going to put it on. And that little crevice there, I'm going to add some sphagnum moss into it. I've already dampened that sphagnum moss just a little bit. And this is hard with one hand. I'm holding the camera with one hand and using the other to show you what I'm doing. But I'm just going to put all of that sphagnum moss into that crevice as much as I can get in there. Now here's the orchid that I've already unmounted from the previous mount. And you can see it's got a lot of dead bulbs on it, but it also has some new ones and some good growth on there as well. I'm just giving you a really good look at it. Now I have mounted it into the crevice that was there, and then I've just taken some twist tie. That's what they had on hand, and I've wrapped that around the plant, going in between the rhizome of the plant itself and wrapping it around the cork to get that one mounted up. Hold it up like this to make sure it doesn't fall out. And this one is done. It's ready to be hung back up in the greenhouse. Now the next plant is an oncidium. It's a little small oncidium with yellow flowers. They don't have an ID for this particular plant. And I just want to show you here all the massive roots of this. It does have some dead pseudobulbs on there that I'm definitely going to be pulling those out. And as I start doing that, I'm breaking off some of the dead stems. And as I start working with this particular plant, I noticed that it seemed like there were multiple plants. Look how I'm starting to pull this apart and we can start seeing some rhizomes here that don't even look like they're attached. Now here's the bark that I'm going to plant this on. It was actually the same one that the bulbophyllum came off of. So I've got my sphagnum moss and I had a little bit of Spanish moss. The more I worked with this, I started realizing, like I said already, there were multiple plants. So I'm just showing you here some of the different plants that I'm finding. I am going to go ahead and cut this one in half. So by the time I got done pulling it apart and untangling the roots, I ended up with 5 sections. I am going to plant all of these back onto the mount. I just put them all together. I found some new growth. I made sure that that new growth was pointed outward away from the cork so that it would grow. And here's the green wire that they provided me so that I could wrap that around. And there again, I wrapped it in between the pseudobulbs, on the rhizomes, in several places. I wrapped it twice around and once around the top, tied the twist ties in the back. And like I said, this one has no name on it. So we just know it's a little oncidium with little yellow flowers when it blooms. And this one's ready to go.